Hello everybody and welcome back to the Jenna 2C chassis variant videos. This is the 2C-3. This is the only other canon variant of it. The other variant, which is the A, was made up by PGI, although at the time this was because they hadn't really done the tech time skip, so sadly they couldn't have introduced the 2C4 because it uses dual ATM3s, which you can build now, and it's actually quite fun. It will be something I will go back to once I've finished the clan side of the chassis series. I'll fill in any of the gaps of any variants that have been officially released and then go right back again and try and build as many of the ones that were also available further down the line and see how many I can make within MechWarrior Online's hardpoint chassis system. And yeah, the 2C4 will definitely be one of those. So the difference between this one and the 2C2 is that it's essentially a much shorter range model. It's apparently meant to mimic the original Jenna, though I struggle to see in really what way. Sacrificing a missile hardpoint to add a NARC beacon means it's more of a support mech than what the original Jenna is, which is more of a striking mech. This one is, from a tabletop perspective and I guess a sort of lore background perspective, is more of an infantry hunter, as its 4 small pulse lasers mean it can very quickly move to a position and just, well, horribly burn and evaporate people with laser fire very quickly before moving on to another target. And the NARC beacon is very useful for being able to target heavy vehicles, tanks, that kind of thing, artillery pieces and other mechs before moving off again, though it does lack any kind of ECM capability to protect it. In MechWarrior Online terms, this is a mech that comes with 2 missile hardpoints and once again 4 energy, the missile hardpoints being in the CT and the energy being evenly split between the 2 arms. So this means you can actually build quite a powerful little mech, and for the weight class it's definitely up there. It can't mount as many jump jets as the 2C2, though that isn't really a bad thing. It still have a maximum of 7, which is a respectable distance. I would recommend this one actually, it's quite fun. I've often had similar-ish kind of gameplay experiences to using the Arctic Cheetah. I think it's the C variant that used to run loads of small pulsers back in the day. This is like running a slightly more heat-efficient version of that mech in some respects. And the NARC beacon, if you keep it, I found has been quite useful, obviously, for racking up a few extra match score, which is useful for some of the events that obviously require you to get a certain amount of match points if you don't just want to take an LRM mech yourself and just sit back and learn people from match score. But as a support unit, it works quite well. I would recommend trying this one out, as the default build isn't too bad. It's quite heat efficient, it's got nice speed, because the engine that comes default with it is quite useful, and very speedy, and being it's a clan doesn't matter whether it's XL or not, because, hey, you still get to do your damage, and risk losing that side torso without instantly dying. I'll admit, my damage wasn't great in the round, but it was, again, like the last, like the 2C2 video, this was a really nasty fight. Went back and forth, and I tried to stay mobile as often as possible, switching to different locations to try and get hits before moving around, and then switching and trying to get hits on a different target. Never trying to stay in one place for too long before pushing out and trying to hit another target. So I think I gave this one a fair shake on what it could potentially achieve. And using the NARC beacon, although there wasn't any LRM mechs on my team really that could have made use of it, it was useful for highlighting the location of enemies, so at least my team could see where it was, which is one of the other more useful aspects of NARC at least. You can tag, well, not tag, but you know what I mean, I can tag them and then they can see them and they know where to move to attack. So if you haven't tried it, I would recommend the 2C3, it's quite fun. And as I said, the 2 missile hardpoints and 4 energy is a respectable number of hardpoints for a light. The engine size that comes with it default is very fast, and quite useful, and hey, you can switch them out in 2Cs, so if you want something a bit slower or a bit quicker, you can do that. And the price isn't too bad either, especially at the time of recording this, there was a sale going on, obviously. That's the Christmas sale of 2017, that will long since be over for some of you who are watching this, but it's not too bad price-wise anyway. So 2Cs are generally, I think, a good start point for some clan tech, because they're a little bit cheaper but they're more customizable. So yeah, other than that, that rounds out the Jenna 2Cs. I will then be going back to the Hellspawns and getting those done. at the Ennisphere, and then we'll be rolling into the clan mediums. Not quite sure which one I'm going to start with yet. Not quite decided, but yeah, should be fun. A little bit more power, a little bit more speed. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good one, and being the time of the year that this was recorded, have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Target destroyed.